First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors and apostles and the elders who have spread the truth out the four corners of earth. I'm here when that can't be less, and let's get it. It's something that stood out to me when I was reading the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and this is the what version of this? The Good News translation, the GNT. And we have to understand, man, there's different interpretations and breakdowns of the Bible. Like, I know I read the King James Version. That's like the original version. Like, a lot of people, they normally read KJV. And I read a lot of new NLT, New Living Translation. But I'm reading a GNT, Good News Translation. A lot of times, like I said, it's studied to show thyself approved. And a lot of times, different interpretations of the Bible help you get a better understanding of just that same word and scripture that you've been learning. And you realize, like, reading just another interpretation and breakdown of it, it give you a whole different perspective of it. So right here in the Good News Translation, the prophet Daniel is talking to the angels. And he said to me, and now Daniel, close the book and put a seal on it until the end of the world. Meanwhile, many people will waste their efforts trying to understand what is happening. So right here, it was like the angels were telling Daniel, the prophet, like, hey, many people gonna waste their time trying to understand what's going on. And right here, verse 9, he answered, he said, you must not go now. You must go now, Daniel, because these words are to be kept secret and hidden until the end comes. Many people would be purified. Those who are wicked would not understand, but will go on being wicked. Only those who are wise will understand. So this scripture right here, the angel telling the prophet Daniel, like, man, look, many people will be purified. So purification means to recleanse, restore, to be renewed, to be woken. Because coming to truth, the Lord said, you be ye transformed. You know what I'm saying? Leaving this word behind. So you are being purified in the Lord's words. But he said, those who are wicked will not understand, but will go on being wicked, because the Lord is not dealing with the wicked. So yeah, it seems to be, and that's what we live when we're living in a mass confusion society, because as prophecies going on, rolling on, a lot of people like, well, I don't understand, and a so-called man wrote that book. You know, they trying to give you a lot of excuses of why they're not able to understand. But right here in Good News Translation, the end of Daniel 12, he said, those who are wicked will not understand, but will go on being wicked. Only those who are wise will understand. So yeah, and we consider them people 2/3, because them people that be trying to like give your own perspective, like perspectives of the Bible, those tend to be worldly people. Those tend to be people that just want to read a scripture and like, yeah, the Lord know my heart, but they're not really trying to be transformed and become a new creature, because you can't just read a couple scriptures and think the Lord, the Lord is dealing with me. No, you got to be transforming these words. You got to be transforming and becoming a new creature and understanding these scriptures and walk therein in these scriptures. Walk in it. This is the point I was trying to get at. Daniel 12, verse 11 and down. From the time the daily sacrifices are stopped, that is, from the time of the awful horror, 1290 days will pass. Happy are those who remain faithful until 1335 days are over. So from the top right there, say from the time the daily sacrifices are stopped. So basically, this is a currently thing that's going on. The daily sacrifices, giving palms, praying, meditating, fasting, giving supplication, breaking bread, praying to the Lord, fasting. Like, these are daily sacrifices that we're doing, because all throughout the beginning of history, when the Lord made man, he always wanted us to give him sacrifices. That's when Cain and Abel gave a better sacrifice. When Isaac was about to, Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac, the angels intervened, like, okay, we see that you're willing to sacrifice. So the Lord always commanded sacrifices from us, even when we used to sin. And before the Lord, Yahweh Shai was the sacrifice. We used to sacrifice lambs and bulls and all these things. So the Lord's been required daily sacrificing, because that's just how he get down. He requires sacrifices. So I'm reading this, it's saying from the time the daily sacrifices are stopped, that is, from the time of the awful horror, because as these sacrifices and all this repenting, trying to get it right, once the sacrifices are done, then the judgment is coming. And that's what is determined, like the awful horror. This is awful we about to walk into. But it said, happy are those who remain faithful until the days are over. So this is that verse along in the Good News Translation telling you a couple, 3 events. It's telling you the daily sacrifices. It's telling you Jacob's trouble, the awful horror. Then it's telling you the remaining after that. Happy are those who remain faithful until the days are over. And I'm going to read that same scripture in the KJV version. Daniel 12 and 11 down. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that make it desolate set up, there shall be 2,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 days. But go thou way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in the lot of the at the end of the days. So everybody's in that lot. And it's always been, and this has been a big thing that the apostles and the elders and Aqua have been preaching. Like, everybody's in their light, everybody's in their stature, everybody's in their window frame of work. If you're a prostitute, then you know you're in your lot of being a prostitute. You're in your lot of being a prophet. You're in your part of being a listener to follow the Lord. So it's like everybody's in their light. So this is a beautiful thing that we're taking heed to these scriptures and being the light in this truth. So I'm jumping ship. And this is Moses telling the Israelites they would go into Egypt, mean bondage, again, but this time with ships for not hearkening unto the Lord Yahweh. Deuteronomy 28, 45 and 46. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandment, his statute, which he commanded thee. And to this day our people doing the same thing. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Deuteronomy 28, 49, 50. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from the far, from the end of the earth, and as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce continents, which shall not regard a person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And these people don't care about us being old and young. They still got up, they keep raising the retirement age and have your grandmother and moms working 65, 70 years old still. That's because they not regarding the age. Deuteronomy 28, 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. There ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So the Lord basically saying right here, he shall bring thee into Egypt again. So this is, the again is Egypt, because we were delivered from Egypt. But the Lord put us in captivity again because we didn't hearken to his voice and law, his commandments when Moses had us in the wilderness and stuff. So the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Here, we was in Egypt again, and where we in modern day America, Babylon is considered Sodom and Egypt. He said in the Lord, right, he said, no man shall buy you. So our people be wanting they be wanting reparations and all this stuff. And the Lord say, you can't be bought. You my possession. And even though we're going through these trials and tribulations, that just lets you know the Lord's gonna intervene, because he's a man, he shall not lie. He said, no man shall buy you. I'm gonna redeem you. So it's beautiful and scary at the same time, because this is a real translation of a kingdom right now. And all throughout the time of history, we was always being delivered either into the hand of the enemy, or we was getting delivered from whoever the Lord decided to save us. So this time the Lord is finna intervene, but this time it's going to be Lord Yahweh Shah, the only begotten son, is going to come back and deliver us. And these are the curses of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 26. I said, I will scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. So the remembrance of understanding our heritage, understanding who we are, understanding our laws, our ways. Because all throughout the scriptures, the Lord said he going to spread us throughout the four corners. We're going to forget who we are. And that's where we then came to the point of where we at. A lot of our people have forgotten who they are. Deuteronomy 28, 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So bywords and proverbs is basically like a different word interpretation of title. So once we was called the Israelites, then Jews, Indians, the N-word, Negro, color, black, Afro-American, African-American, and, also on Sobo niggers, spics, whatever. Because that's what the Lord basically, like, he taking them titles from us. We're not the kings and the true Israelites like we once was. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord basically saying. He said, thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. The Lord lead us all these ways. Not these enemies, not Esau, not all these people, not the Lord put them in position to lead us these ways. So we got to understand everything we're going through is of the Lord. Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And that's what's going on. We're remembering who we are. We're remembering that we do have a power. And and the Lord is starting to look at his lady again. And he's starting to get that, think about like sometimes you had a girl you used to deal with and y'all kind of faded off and y'all kind of went out on, bad terms. And just that flame got rekindled. That's basically what's going on with the Lord, because the Lord always looked at us like his lady. The Lord always told us that we was the apple of his eye. Regardless what we went through, that's a immeasurable amount of love that the Lord has for his people. And a lot of times we don't understand how much the Lord loves us because we just so stuck in our ways, and our people destroy for lack of knowledge of understanding the Lord too as well. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashan, Yahweh Shai, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth of our understanding and who we are, nor mercy. There's no mercy that is given to the saints at the end of the day, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land. So there's no lot of knowledge of the Lord, and he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. So the Lord hating all this. Because it's like, basically, his ladies are getting pimped out and getting marketed to all these different nations, and the lady's not aware who her true pimp is, to be honest. We're going to keep it P. You know what I'm saying? The Lord look at us like his lady. Isaiah 51:14. The captive exile hasten that he may be loose. So the captives we in exile hasten to be loose, may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. Psalms 80:7. Turn us, again, O Yahweh of hosts, and cause our face to shine, and we shall be saved. So yeah, the Lord is looking back at this lady and like, I'm finna come get you. And that's what's going on. It's scary at the same time, man, because this is finna be beyond our imagination. What's to happen on this earth? There's gonna be time like I never before. That's why I read Daniel 12, that chapter Daniel first, because there's gonna be a time when therefore Michael shall stand up, who stand guard for the children of thy people. Psalms 80:8. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Jeremiah 16:14-15. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashan Yahweh Shai, said, it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Because that's one thing the Lord always emphasizes all throughout the scripture. I'll deliver you out of Egypt. I got you out of bondage, out of Pharaoh. I did that. And that's one thing the Lord always emphasized, that he delivered us out of Egypt. And, continue on from that verse, 16:15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again to the land that I gave unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I read that scripture because the Lord right here in Deuteronomy 28:37, he said, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. And basically right here in Jeremiah 16:15, it said, the Lord that liveth brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, North America, and from all the lands whither he driven them. I will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers. So this is a future prophecy, because the Lord did live. The Lord liveth that brought the children out of the land of the Egypt. But this time it said, the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he driven them, because the Lord spread us out throughout the four corners of earth. Israelites all throughout the four corners of earth. So this is going to be a major, what you call it, like an exodus. Because, that exodus was back then in Egypt, that was a big thing. Like the foreign countries and the countries stand by was like, hey, you heard about what the Lord did to Egypt? Like Egypt was a staple point back in them days. Egypt was the bread and butter. Like Egypt was that city. And the Lord restored Egypt and delivered the children out of that. We went through our trial and tribulation. And so the Lord saying it's going to be declared that the Lord liveth that brought us out the land of the north. This is the future thing to come. And all throughout the lands that whether he spread us. So yeah, gird your loins. I'm going to read Daniel 12:1. Daniel 12:1, NLT New Living Translation. At that time, Michael, the archangel who stands guard over your nation, will arise. So Michael is the archangel. It's about things like, if I don't want to misinterpret the numbers, I want to say it's like 5 to 7 archangels, like Raphael, Riguel, like one of them is responsible for sending the praise in front of the Lord. Like, so it's archangels. These are head angels, like top angels. Michael, archangel who stand guard over your nation, will arise. So Michael, the archangel, is going to arise. Then there would be a time of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. So it's going to be a major time of, it's going to be a major scary time of pain and agony. But at that time, every one of your people whose name is written in the book would be rescued. So it's a book of life. The Lord always kept tabs on his children. And that's what's to come. And it's beautiful and scary at the same time, because the Lord ain't forgot us. Our people forgot about the Lord. And that's one thing my grandma used to say. I remember growing up in the church as a young man. You know, just being a kid, you just going to church, you used to fall asleep. But I always kept that first. I always knew that the Lord was real. It's just I didn't have the strong relationship like I do have now with the Lord. And I remember, like, I was in the military, and I remember getting out, and my grandma was like, I don't know, I was just going through things these last couple of years, and that's when I started seeking the Lord again in the truth. And I remember talking to my grandma when she's still an usher in the church. And I said, Grandma, we was just talking. She said, no, the Lord didn't forget about you. He was waiting on you to come back. And that always sticks to me because it's so true, because the Lord always, like, still cared about us, even though, he put these plagues in this. He put us through these trials and tribulations because we kept going against his laws and commandments, so we went again. He put us in punishment. But just because you put your kids in punishment don't mean you forever hate them. And that's why I look at it like the Lord. Like, the Lord don't hate us. He just hate our ways, because he gave us laws and commandments and statutes to follow in. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is looking back at his lady. The Lord, is mad because you look at the way this earth is being ran. Wickedness has spread out throughout the four corners earth. And the Lord said, if I don't shorten the days for the elect, say no flesh and blood shall be saved. So the Lord is mad and fierce. You know what I'm saying? And I can just tell, you brothers and sisters, man, strap up, man. Strap your boots and get ready, because it's finna get chaos out here. Like, the time we about to experience, like Daniel 12:1, the time of the end, he says it's going to be a greater time of existence, anguish than ever since the existence. So when the Lord flooded the earth, that's not to be compared. When we was going through the captivity and the slave ships, and some of our people was falling off the ships, were getting fed to the crocodiles, again, Brook boated in these plantations, that's not to be compared. When the Lord did to Egypt, that's not to be compared. This is going to be a major exodus, what the Lord's about to do, man. And the angels about to intervene. Michael, the archangels, will arise. Michael's a head angel under the Lord Yahweh Shai. So that alone lets you know, like, yeah, it's finna get gnarly, man. It's finna get gnarly, man. And it's beautiful and scary at the same time, because we we can't fathom the presence of the spiritual realm. Like, we can't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a time, we might have been with the Lord in our previous lives, but the Lord even said, like, things of former past can't be interpreted, because the Lord got us in this way of life. We can't think about the things in the past, but we can only imagine. So I want to end this lesson by giving our praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS, has spread throughout the four corners of earth. Shalom.